So, we've seen a lot of different politicians talk about a TikTok ban, but it's never actually materialized. This time though, it looks a little bit different. Honestly, it seems like it's actually going to go this time, or at least have to be sold to an American company. You see, this time the law that'll affect TikTok is being passed by the Congress, so it'll be an actual law. That's not great for TikTok. You see, the last time there was talk of a ban, it came from President Trump, who signed an executive order that would ban TikTok unless its Chinese owner, which, like all Chinese companies, is just an extension of the Chinese Communist Party, sold the app. This was blocked by a federal judge and never actually happened because despite what a lot of people seem to think, the president doesn't actually have that much power when it comes to pretty much anything outside of defense or enforcement of existing federal laws. The president can't do anything to actually make laws, except get mad and yell until Congress listens. Our government is structured in such a way that Congress makes the laws, the president enforces them, and the judicial branch makes sure neither the laws or the enforcement violates the Constitution. It's actually a little bit more complicated than that, but that's just a 10,000 foot view. So when Trump used an executive order to ban TikTok, it was obviously overturned because his order relied on power that the executive branch didn't have. But if Congress was to give the executive branch the power to do it, then it would have been fine, which is basically what's happening now. A bipartisan bill was introduced by a Republican from Wisconsin and a Democrat from Illinois called the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, which, though actually way more complicated than it sounds, would require the Chinese company that owns TikTok to divest itself from the app within 165 days of the bill's signing into law, or the app would be banned for download in the United States. Though it's been touted as a TikTok ban bill, it doesn't actually ban TikTok. More than likely, if it actually goes through, ByteDance, the Chinese company that owns TikTok, would just sell it to an American company, and the app would keep operating without any real effect on the users. Well, except that the openly genocidal communist government of China would no longer be in control of an app that a large number of American teenagers spend hours on every single day. The bill is obviously controversial because, well, to be frank, a lot of politicians, mostly Democrats, use TikTok as a way to campaign to kids. Well, they're still young and impressionable, not to mention how angry the teenagers of America will get if they can't watch their TikToks. TikTok actually tried to do something very sneaky and sent a push notification to their users, telling the users that Congress is planning on banning TikTok and telling them to call their government officials and demand that they not pass the bill, which led to a ton of teens and kids all calling and tying up the phone lines at government offices around the country, more than likely making the poor intern that works the phone line listen to 12 hours of different kids making skibbity toilet references. And this backfired on them greatly because, well, the entire point of the bill is that Congress is worried that the openly anti-American communist totalitarian state of China, which is currently openly committing a genocide on their own citizens, could use TikTok as a weapon to influence the youth of America. Now imagine you're a congressman. You're kinda on the fence of the bill. Certainly TikTok can't have that much of a hold on American youth, right? This is all blown way out of proportion. But then suddenly TikTok sends out that mass push notification and every congressman in America is getting calls from impressionable youths demanding that TikTok not be banned. That's one way to radicalize a congressman. In trying to stop them from banning the app, TikTok accidentally proved that they, and by extension the Communist Party of China, have extreme control over our youth. And if you don't believe me, look into the comments section because there's always one brainwashed person trying to defend communism down there whenever I mention it, despite the fact that communism always leads to massive suffering wherever it rears its head. Both Stalin and Mao independently set new standards for how much suffering can be inflicted on a human being, killing hundreds of millions between them, significantly more than the Germans would have even thought possible just years before. But sorry, I'm just passionate about my hatred for communism, so I went on a tangent there. Anyway, this bill actually managed to pass the House of Representatives in a 352 to 65 vote, with both Democrats and Republicans voting in favor of the bill. This kind of shocked a lot of people because, like I mentioned earlier, the Democrats use TikTok a lot to indoctrinate their voters. The Republicans do too, but to less success. So from here, the bill has to go to the Senate, which is controlled by Democrats. The Senate can pass or reject the bill. If they reject it, it's dead. If they pass it, it goes to the president to sign. Biden has expressed his support for the bill and said that he would sign it if it got to him, which does signal that the broader Democrat Party supports the ban, which is important to note because the Democrats control the Senate. Though, to be honest, I don't know if Biden's saying he will sign something thing actually means that much, considering the guy is less lucid than half of your local nursing home. He'll probably forget he said it. So is the TikTok ban going to pass? No one knows now, but it seems like it will. If Biden's support means anything, historically the president has a large pull within his own party, and him saying he'd sign it could be interpreted as him telling them to pass it. But I honestly don't know if they respect him in the way that they would a normal president, or if they're taking orders from someone in his cabinet that can still actually count to 20. If it goes through, like I said earlier, it probably won't even get banned. It will most likely just be sold to an American. Actually, the guy that used to run Activision Blizzard, Bobby Kotick, said that he wanted to buy it, which could be interesting if you know anything about him. The real question is, what do you guys think? Are you worried about the ban and how it could affect TikTok? Would you prefer that TikTok be owned by an American company and not a Chinese one? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and God bless you.